Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this video is a little bit different than my normal videos, and the reason being is I was talking to my niece tonight, and she is wanting to start doing the sublimation tumblers and stuff, and so she had some questions, and I told her that I had a couple of tumblers that I needed to make for an Etsy order, and that I would do a video for whenever I went to do them. And so I was just going to do the video for her and just send it to her. And then I figured, there may be somebody else that might want to see it. It may be just fun just to simply watch, whether you have an interest in sublimation or not. So I am actually recording this video for my niece, Hannah. She has opened her up a little shop. Right now, it's just on Facebook, I believe. And I think the name of it is Beauty from Ashes or something. I'll try to remember to link her Facebook group below. She does amazing work in what she's already doing. So proud of her. So make sure that you go over to her Facebook group, check it out, order some stuff from her. But she is going to, I think, start doing like the sublimation tumblers and stuff as well. So this video is for her, basically, but I figured, I'll bring you guys along too, because I'm kind like that. All right, so this order is actually for Miss Johnny, who is a longtime customer and subscriber of mine. She's amazing, amazing. Love her. And so this tumbler order is from her. She ordered these tumblers off of Etsy, and I will link in the description box below. I will link how you can order your own custom tumblers from me through my Etsy shop, and you can put on it anything that you want, which is what Miss Johnny has done. So I've already printed the design, but let me show you first, because the first thing you need to do, it all depends on what tumbler you are working with as to what size you're going to print your design. I like to work with the 20-ounce skinny straight tumblers. It makes it much easier when I'm wrapping it. You can do the curves, you can do the different ones. I'm just telling you the ones that I like to work with the most. Now, I did get this little gadget here, and this seems to work good, but I'm going to show you my old standby way of measuring, but I'm going to show you this. So this here, you just take this and you put this around it, and it will give you the width, and it's showing to be about 9.4, which is what I have on mine as well. And how I do it, I have this little sewing measuring tape here. My oldest daughter gave it to me, and this is just what I always use, and I just wrap it around, and as you can see, it's about 9.4. And then you want to measure your height, and the height on mine is right at 8 inches. So I need my design to be 9.4 by 8. And I'm not going to go into detail tonight on how I get my design that size, how I print it, that kind of stuff. But you do want to print it mirrored. And the design, when you print this on a sublimation printer, the colors are very muted. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I am unsure about this one because the colors that I printed was more this color. It's what this should be. My fingers are, I've went and checked it twice, checked it 3 times to make sure. So because I do know that the colors can be different when I print it versus when I cook it, it's the only reason I'm going to go ahead and go with it. I'm just praying that it turns out right, because those colors don't look right. So what I do, you want to make sure that you have it printed in mirror image. And then I stand my tumbler up. And now this one is longer than 9.5, and I left it like that because it's white, so it's not going to make a difference. And so the biggest thing when you're doing these is you want to make sure that you have this wrapped as tight as you possibly can. Because to do sublimation, how the sublimation gets onto the tumbler and stays is it's through heat, but it's not just heat. It is a heat and pressure. You can use these type things here. I don't typically use them because I don't know, me and them just don't get along very well. But this is something that you can use, and it's like having an extra hand or finger, and so it will bring it together a little tighter. I like to use, when I'm doing this part, I use this tape dispenser that goes ahead and cuts my tape in these, I think it's 1.25 inch strips, so that saves on my tape. So I'm wanting to really make sure, I think I'm going to cut that off because I don't like it being that much too long. I don't feel like I'm getting a good wrap on it. So let me just cut this. And I'm just going to line this up here. And I've already prepared my tumblers. I've wiped them with alcohol and just got them ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.5. So I'm going to be cutting about right here. You want to make sure that you have any oils and that kind of stuff off of your hands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.5. Okay, that's all right. I guess, no, this is 9.5. This is what I need to do. I mean, it's not really going to make that much of a difference on this one because it's white, but I'm just trying to make sure that I have it even. And I like to cut these with a craft knife and a ruler. It just makes it that much easier. Let's try this again. Yes, much better. And so you just want to make sure that you get it pulled tight. And then I put a piece of tape at the top. And you can see here, you can see that I pulled that really tight. And then I'm just going to go right here. I'm going to put a piece of tape there, and I'm going to kind of pull a little bit on it like that. And you want to make sure that you're putting it and pulling from the side that's on top. And my cat is about to crawl up my legs, trying to get in here to me. And I am going to, yep, I'm just going to pull and do that again. And now I want to kind of feel, and I don't feel like any air pockets or anything in there, but now we need to do something with that seam. And so what I do with that is I take my regular tape that is not cut in strips for me, and I get it stuck to me. And I'm going to get me a long piece of it off, and I am going to put this end right there like that, and then I'm going to kind of pull tight. And I just want to make sure that I've got any air pocket out of there, because that's what will cause ghosting, is if there's any air pocket in there. And so how the ghosting happens, you have the air pocket, and then when that ink heats up to a gas, it just kind of goes around in that air pocket rather than being right there on the tumbler. So now I take another piece and I put it right here at the top. And I want it about half on the tumbler and half off. And I'm going to kind of pull tightly as I'm going around the tumbler. And I just pull it tight so that it's almost, see how it's kind of going in on itself? That's how I want it to do. And then I'm going to tuck it in just like that. And so see, there's no air pocket up there at the top now. And so I need to do the same thing down here at the bottom. And I can tell you that wrapping your tumbler is probably the most important part of this, because it doesn't matter how beautiful your designs are or how amazing your machines are that you're using to do this. If you do not have them wrapped properly, they're not going to turn out. So now, I don't know if you can kind of see, there's that paper right in there. I am going to fold it down onto itself, just like that. Okay, and now one more time, I'm just kind of feeling to make sure that I don't feel any air pockets, and I don't, because if I did, I would take it off and redo it because it is that important. So now I have one more, and because I do want to cut this at the 9.5, I am going to line this back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.5. And I just moved it. That was very smart of me. Do not climb up my legs, Cat. Stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.5. And I'm just going to go right here. And again, this design is not as important because it has the white edge. Stop, Cat. Climbing up my legs. Great goodness. But if you had a design that was a full image, you would want to make sure that you had it trimmed properly. And so again, I just set it on my table. And get my piece of tape here. And I will tell you that it is better to use more tape than not enough. If you don't feel like you are getting it closed enough, like right here, say, I would rather put more tape going down here like this and make sure that I have it closed and all of the air pockets out rather than not put enough tape and end up messing up a tumbler. Because if you mess these up, you know, if you do something and you get the ghosting and you have to redo the tumbler, it's not like you can just redo the tumbler. You can try to bake some of the ink off, but I have two that I have baked for, they baked for probably about 6 hours each, and they still, now I can probably sublimate a dark image on top of them, but it's not anything that I could sell. So it's better to use a little bit more tape and not ruin a tumbler. All right, so just doing the top here. And I use, to do my tumblers, I actually use a countertop convection oven. And I thought about getting a tumbler press, but you know, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. This is working great for me, so I am not going to do anything different. And the other thing, I know most people put their tumblers into an already preheated oven. I don't preheat my oven. I turn my oven on when I put my tumblers in. And I've had great success. So I guess that's one of those things that, you know, when you do them, you would need to see how your oven is, how your tumblers do. Okay, so now I've got all that down. That looks really, really good. But we want to make sure that we get a lot of pressure on these tumblers to make sure that they don't ghost. So we are putting them in a shrink wrap bag. And this is also important because how you shrink wrap your tumbler is can determine how your tumbler comes out. Because when you shrink wrap it, you don't want there to be, you want to do it to where there's not like a lot of wrinkles or anything, because you want as little air pocket in there as possible. And hopefully my heat tool is still plugged up. So how I do this, and I apologize for the noise, I start at the bottom. I kind of start here at the bottom and I just kind of go to the top and I work my way around until I get it pretty much on there. And then I'll do the final stages in just a second. But this is just to make sure I've got it on there. Okay, so now that it's on there, now I'll go ahead and go to the bottom And I'm going to heat that up. And then I'm going to start working my way around from the bottom to get all of those little air pockets out, because I want this to be as tight as it possibly can be. Because, like I said, any air pockets, and I have it wrapped good enough, honestly, that if I didn't do this, I think mine would still be okay. But the shrink wrap does not cost much at all. And it's worth it to me to have that little bit of insurance or peace of mind that it's going to turn out properly. And so I am just continuing to go around. And sometimes these shrink wraps, they'll split like along the seam, and it's okay if they split some, because a lot of times they'll split once I put them in the oven. And now I'll just do the top. And let's make sure we've got all those wrinkles out. See, I've seen a couple wrinkles. And let's go one more time, just making sure. See, I see a couple wrinkles there. But for the most part, that one looks pretty good. So now let's do this one. Again, I just kind of start at the bottom and just work my way around and up to the top. Just like this. And it really, you know, like I said, I probably don't have to do this, and I could save myself a little bit of time, but it just makes me feel better to have it done. And I'd rather spend a little bit of time doing this and know that I'm going to end up with a nice finished product than if I didn't do it and take that chance. So we're almost done. I apologize for the noise from the heat gun, but it's part of it. And this one is going pretty quickly. And so what I do, and if you do these in a convection oven, just make sure that you do not use it for food again. So I have to buy us another convection oven because I just wasn't thinking, and I just immediately, you know, I used it, and then I'm like, oh, so I can't cook food in this no more. Okay. So now I have to buy us a new one. See, that one split just a little bit right there. That's fine. But I do these at 400 degrees, and I set my timer for 14 minutes. And that, you know, once it heats up at the 14 minutes, it'll start, once it hits 400 degrees, then the 14 minutes starts counting. I have done some a little less than 14 minutes, and they do fine. So it's one of those things, just kind of, you can trial and error, because every oven is going to be different. And then I do take and I wrap mine in butcher paper. And I just buy the rolls of butcher paper. You can get the rolls from Sam's. You can get it from Amazon. But I just buy the rolls, and then I just go ahead and cut me some strips. It's much cheaper that way than buying the... Stop climbing up me, cat. Y'all, she's climbing up my legs like I'm a tree. Jeez. I don't know what I'm going to do with this cat. Okay. All right. So now we will be putting this into the oven. And I will put it in there for 14 minutes at 400 degrees. And I will bring you guys back when it's ready to unpeel. And now we wait. Okay, guys, so my little oven just went off. I am grabbing a heat glove because these things are hot. And there's the first one. And there's the second one. Now, I am not sure where my second heat glove is because I really do need it, but we are going to have to go with it without the second one. All right. So these are very hot. And I'm just pulling that tape back because these just came out of a 500-degree oven or 400-degree oven. All right, so I can already see that my design is peeking through, which is what I want. So I know that it's worked because you'll see it through that spring wrap. Let's see if we can get this tape off without burning myself completely. Alrighty. Sorry for all the noise. Right, let's get that out of the way. Now, if you were smarter than I am, you would probably let this cool down. But y'all know that I'm too impatient to do that. So what I do is I typically try to peel the top part like this so that I can get to this tape here. Now remember, this is super hot. So I'm cutting just that little piece there so that I can pull that off. And then I get this one here and I pull it down, and normally it'll just zip right on down like that. Now to pull the bottom off. And I don't think there's any elegant way to pull this tape and stuff off. If there is, I don't know it. So this is how I do it every time. And I always end up getting stuck to the tape, or, you know, there's always something. All right. I'm going to try and do it where we can see it together. I'm not going to try and keep it from coming open on me. Something don't look right on this one for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it does look right. Just trying to get this tape off so that we can do the reveal. There we go. Oh my goodness. Guys, look. That's beautiful. Look at that. Wow. I don't know if you guys seen how the color was before I printed it. I was very concerned. But look how beautiful. It is beautiful. All right, so let's unwrap this one. Hopefully this one turned out as good. So again, I try to get that part off. And I like to see what we can do here. And then I get this right here. I think these turned out good. If I can get this off. Like I said, I don't think there's any elegant way to pull the tape off of these things. So I don't even try. I just As long as I can get the tape off and get it open, I'm good. So now let me pull this one. All right, guys, here we go. Maybe. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I need to clean that. It's got a little piece of trash right there. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, the only other thing I need to do is, I'm just grabbing, I always put these rubber bottoms on them. So that's what I am doing now. Just taking, I like to have these rubber bottoms on them. It just, they, like when you go to set them down, you don't have to worry about them. And it also has cleaning instructions on it. You know, obviously you can't microwave these because they're stainless steel. But I guess some people has probably tried it, since they had to put do not microwave on here. There's that. And there's the lid. And they come with a straw as well. And then I will put these in the box and get them shipped to my customer. Love them. All right, guys, let me know what you think. I will talk to y'all later, and I will make sure I leave links below on how you can order your own custom tumbler, as well as links to my niece's Facebook group. And I think that was all I needed to leave links to. So yeah, just let me know what you think. All right, guys, bye.